but in reality, I'm crying. I really am crying. She didn't hear me cry because I waited, and I waited. I breathed. I was like, "Have a nice day." I hung up the phone. I cried, and as I cried, I typed that message to the dean. Okay, I guess they don't want to focus on my face because what's up with it? Like, do we have beef? Do we need to fight? Focus. I'm literally right like 2 feet away. Not even 2 feet, maybe a foot and a half. My face is right here. Okay. Don't have to be this close. I don't want to be this close. Can it focus? Like, I can see it's not focused for once. How much? Oh, wait. Oh, no, I did that. Essentially, oh, my room looks so girly pop in a bag. I have never said it in my life. Lexi keeps calling me girly pop, so I just kind of accepted it. But let's have a conversation real quick. This is one of those real life moments of my 20s. Yay, purr. Okay, focus. Let's log in. It's not happening. Real life moment of my 20s, right? After graduating college, I have had not, it isn't, it's, there's a better word for imposter syndrome specifically for black people, but it's like the largest burnout ever. It was like I was pumping for 4 years straight to get to summa cum laude level and died out. And I didn't want to touch a sewing machine. I didn't want to touch a pencil. I didn't want to touch a piece of paper. I didn't want to touch my laptop, okay? It was just like I was done. And now I'm sitting here sewing or whatever because I was gifted by my professor this pink set because I love pink, but it's not really my style, so I'm like, making it what I want it to be. But anyways, I'm thinking back on like the things that I went through school, and it was a lot, like about academics, about everyday life, friendships, whatever. I was just so much coming at me that I was like, I don't have time to think about this right now, shelve it. I don't have time to think about this right now, shelve it. And I just want to tell myself right now, you better get your life together. You better put them hands to work, okay? God gave you these hands, and these hands is amazing because everything you touch is amazing, okay? And I'm so serious about that. If you know me, you know I got amazing stuff. If you know what's in my closet right now that's made out of things that you play with, you know these hands is amazing. They're just depressed right now. They're just depressed. Because, and y'all not gonna know this because I only told people that were close to me that could actually help me do something about it. But there was a professor. There have been numerous professors. Let's start from the jump. Freshman year. Freshman year, I had a professor, and she didn't show up to any of the classes. She showed up to 2 classes in person the entire semester, and she got lucky because we went virtual. And she had the nerve, the one of the times that she came into the class to talk about I have this great project going on in DC and everybody can help out because I got blocked on all of my Instagram accounts from DMing people. Red flag number 1. And I need you guys to use your Instagrams to DM them. Red flag number 2. And we can really make this big initiative. Red flag number 3. So she's going around giving people like different numbers. She's like, okay, we're gonna count up. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, whatever, right? And you'll be able to like, according to your number, I'll give you a group of people to talk to, etc., right? So I'm waiting for her to get to me because I'm in the front row. I'm one of those students. I'm in the front. She's like 1, 2, 3. She gets to me. I'm like, I'm not doing this, and she's like. She stops, she like analyzes what I said to her, and she was like, oh, okay, like just so you know, like it's not like they're judging your social media. And then she stopped what she was saying to me because clearly I don't have a problem with them judging my social media. I'm cute, okay? So, but I'm also only 18 at the time. I just turned legal. This is not happening. So she then proceeds to disdirect from me and speak to the whole class and is like, this is a volunteer thing, so you don't have to do it. don't worry, people aren't going to judge your account. They'll understand that it's just for this initiative. We're trying to really get people on board, etc., etc., that I don't care about because this is not what I'm paying for this class to be about. And she's like, okay, I'm just going to go back around and you guys say yes or no. And I came before a group of my friends, so they decided to, like, we would sit in the same row. I really don't care where I sit. Like, we could be friends and we don't have to sit together. But, you know, they sat next to me. So it was me, then one friend number 1, one friend number 2, one friend number 3, right? So we're sitting there, and me being me, she's going around. She's like, yes, no. And they're like, yes, yes, yes. I said no when it got to me. And she's like, okay, just, again, her whole spiel. I'm like, I'm not going to say yes, lady. This is too much. This is beyond my zone. I'm not saying yes. So she goes back around. She comes back to me. Yes, no. I say no. She's like, oh, well, then you can leave. I definitely did get my stuff. And then my friends afterwards, but one after the other, because if they were in front of me, I guarantee you they would have said yes, because they just don't got that backbone like I do. And I love them. But they know I'm telling the truth. So then they were like, no, no, no. And you know what we did? We left and we got ice cream, okay? And then at the end of that semester, I typed in my little presentation online very gently at the last slide of my presentation. If you want to be a teacher, then you have to be present in class. And I understand you want to do a big initiative for artists, and I respect that as a fellow artist. But there's a time and place to do everything, and that time was not on mine. Anyways, next, she never replied to that, but I definitely got an A in that class. It was the following year, there was a professor, which one came first? This one came first. There was a professor, we're not saying names, but she would always be like, I don't care if you have Wi-Fi issues. My bad. Friday was acting up. Anyways, so, not saying names, she had a habit of telling students, you know, I don't care if your Wi-Fi is bad, I don't care if they stay in the third, you better make sure you got it together before the class starts, and when we do presentations, everything better go smoothly. Even if a hurricane hit your house. She didn't say all that, but that hurricane part, she didn't say that. But everything else before that, she said that, etc., 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 right? So I'm like, my Wi-Fi is superb. It's not. But I never had no issues during class, at least. And there was one time during presentations that there was a group, and the group was saying their stuff. All the other groups could hear that group, but she couldn't hear them, and was like, all right, well, y'all not prepared, next group, etc., 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 and then gave a spiel, and we're telling her, like, lady, we can hear them, we can see it, you just can't. So, maybe me, I typed up a nice hefty paragraph about, you know, being more understanding of people's situations, including your own, because you were in the wrong, and you penalized the group for something that was going on for you, and I hope it's an eye-opener for the remaining of the classes for when there are issues on our end, that we are just as understanding, that you are just as understanding with our situation as we were with you just now when you just yelled about something that was your own fault. So then, she said in a message underneath, because my classmates, they agreed in a separate group chat, but they didn't agree in public. I ain't like that. But then she subbed me, right, on the Microsoft Teams app, and was like, speak for yourself. She said, speak for yourself. Something about it. I could have emailed her, etc., whatever. And I was just like, I looked at the group chat and said, y'all not gonna say nothing? This wasn't even my group that got penalized. So then everybody else started commenting and was like, I agree with me, right? And she canceled class the next time we were supposed to meet up, right? So I'm like, oh, perfect. I got a doctor's appointment. I said, oh, perfect. I have a doctor's appointment that I need to go to. And I'm so serious. Like, none of this is a joke, right? And she then messaged me privately on Microsoft Teams and was like, do you have a moment to chat? And this was during the class time that got canceled. So of course I didn't answer. I'm at the doctor's. So I answered back and I'm like, I had a doctor's appointment and you canceled class, so I chose that time to like put it in. We can have a conversation later, right? I didn't even know you could call on Teams. So when she said call me, I'm like, call you? So I look at the syllabus and I call her phone and she's like, hello, who's this? And I'm like, this is Brenda. You asked for me to call you. And she's like, no, this is my personal phone number. Call me on Teams. And I'm like, ma'am, this is literally the only class I ever have to use this software for. So how would I have even known that? And you saying call me? Why would you put your number on the syllabus if you didn't want to be called? And why would you put your personal number at that if you didn't want them calling your personal number? You better put a home. She says that I figure out how to call her on Teams. I'm like, hello. And I'm like, how are you? Or whatever. She cut right to the point. She did not sweet talk me, nothing. She was like, your comments were unnecessary. You should speak for yourself. I can already tell, like, whatever. If you can't put the hard work in, just say that you're lazy, etc., etc. She started running me. She started reading me for filth, right? I'm like, I'm lazy, I'm ignorant, I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, I have never met this Brenda before, right? So I'm like, I'm trying to talk, and she's like, I'm not done talking. I'm like, in my head, but in reality, I'm crying. I really am crying. She didn't hear me cry, because I waited, I breathed, I was like, have a nice day. I hung up the phone, I cried, and as I cried, I typed that message to the dean. I typed that message to the dean. And guess what? I had a couple of meetings with the dean, not just me, but all these other students started coming forward. And she was out. She was out of here. She was gone. She was gone. You're not finna do me like this. No. And then there was another professor, and she turned her act around like real smoothly. But this was during the pandemic, so I told her what was real. I said, I know that my major is fashion design that requires us to buy fabric and stuff. I have no issue buying the fabric. And you said that the threads have to be the same color as the fabric or whatever. But I can't realistically spend money on same colored thread that is like silk or cotton count or whatever just for this class and this one singular project when there's like food and other things that I could be buying to survive a pandemic. Like, what can I say? It was just, I'm being realistic. I'm very forward. Unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever. It's always worked in my favor. Like, I might cry a little bit, but I mean, I want you to be as upfront with me as I am with you. And I told her this though, and she was like, I don't remember if she said anything in regards to it, but when I did end up sending her pictures of the project, because it was a pink outfit, but the thread was red because I already had the red thread, right? And she was like, your stitches, they're visible and I don't like it. It's not the same color. Your work is sloppy. It's this, it's that. And I'm like, damn. And like, I'm really cursing right now because if you know me, I try to leave it out of the videos because I do curse, but I don't want to be perceived a certain way that, like, at least in line with cursing. So like, I try and I do my best to keep it clean, but right now I'm gonna say damn because damn, I'm like, these people are eating me up. So I'm like, and first of all, she said this. The other person was a phone call. The other person before that was like typing in a presentation. We wasn't on Zoom. It was face to face. And not only that, I was on the phone with my friend. So she heard me get ate up too. She heard me get ate up. So I'm like, I'm just sitting here. I'm like, I understand. I put my best poker face. You'll never see me cry. You'll never see it. But I put my best poker face on. I hung up that call. I got on the phone with my friend. She said, nah, she talked to me dirty too. She said she's done it to me too. What really got me is she said, I don't know if you really want to do fashion. She said, because the thread was a different color. And then the following semester, I gave her something so spectacular because I actually had the money to buy the same color thread. I gave her something so spectacular. She was like, you ever thought about doing DC Fashion Week? Since it's close, because it was like DC Fashion Week time, not New York Fashion Week time. She was like, you ever thought about doing DC Fashion Week? Because, this work, it's so good. And I'm like, no, I haven't thought about doing that. Wow. And I really hadn't, but I'm just like, that attitude was 360. And she was like, and you know, I tell my students that if they're doing bad work and they really not doing it right, because I've seen some pretty bad things, I tell them, you know, you should probably reconsider your career path. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I know you said it to me like 3 months ago. But like, after that, like, she was all peaches and cream about my work submitted. That was like my first assignment too. I was just like I already had stuff walking Howard. Like, I knew I was the shit. I did. I knew it. So like when she said that, I'm just like, what is in the pandemic air that got everybody acting out their brains? But even though I did overcome all of those moments, and I am the beast that I am today, I'm not gonna pretend like sometimes I don't sit here and I'm like, dang. When I'm not doing work, I'm like, I'm really like proving them right. Like, I'm being lazy. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. But that's also because like I've been going on the grind culture for so long. I deserve a break, and I'm getting off my break now. But like, I deserved a break, and I shouldn't have been eating myself up the way that I was. I need to let other people hate on me. I don't need to hate on myself. Wow, that felt really good to get that bit out. Now, my life isn't always like not peaches and cream because of something somebody said 3 years ago, but it's a little bit of it, and that helped. Like 15%. 15% is a lot when your phone is dying. Maybe we'll have another moment. We'll see. So I wanted to tell a little story while I proceed to like figure. Okay, so I'm doing my capsule collection. I thought I was just gonna wait till I had money based off of what I already do, but I'm not waiting for that. I'm just gonna do what I do and make each piece and make one of each piece that it is that I want to make, and then make sure I have like my pattern and stuff ready, and then when I'm ready financially, I'll take all the individual pieces and just get them produced or manufactured, not produced. This is music. But I was thinking earlier this morning, and I was like, man, I used to have to wake up and exercise because in New York, if you don't know, here's a quick snippet. We used to go to New York like very often because the other half of my family lives there. So we would go up for when we used to have actual spring break, summer break, winter break, and then like toward the end of high school. No. Yeah, somewhere in the gist of college, we just started going up at different random times. So we would have to wake up in the morning, and when we wake up in the morning, we would have to do exercises in order to be able to do things. Now, normally it would be like, oh, you have to work out this amount of times. Not work out this amount of time. You have to do this many pull-ups in order to get this amount of hours to play the video game, right? I don't play the video game, so obviously my requirements were different. I had this many hours to do I had this many pull-ups to do to get so many hours to watch television, right? Because what you gonna do? Take away my pencil? So I've always had like a healthy balance of not doing things, of doing things and not doing things. And so, wow, for a long time, like I was really like, oh, I'm gonna do the most pull-ups that I can do. Um, and like we had breaks in between like a couple of them, so it's like, oh, you do. At first, I think it was like you do a certain amount and then you do a certain amount between each person. There are three of us. It's me, my little brother, and my other little brother, but he's really my twin. Um, and the boys will go first, then I go, then it'll be like a circle around the number of pull-ups, which would count for 1 hour each set. And I was like really like doing them, and I was like, I don't need to do this. Like, you know, one morning you just wake up and you're like, it take that one morning to be like, you don't want to do this, to really like set it up. It's like I don't want to do these today. So, but I was like, but I want to watch TV. So what I did was I laid there. I calculated the number of pull-ups I needed to do in order to watch a certain amount of TV, or not the number I needed to do, but the number I felt like doing. And then when I calculated that number, I had to figure out what I was going to do for the rest of the time if I was not watching TV. And I was like, realistically, I only need 6 hours of television, right? So I'm like, if I can do 6 sets, then I'm good, right? So I'll go over there. I'm like, okay. I think it may have been like 12 pull-ups for me because, you know, I was a girl, so I got privileges, but really I was just abusing it because I could have did the same thing, but who's telling somebody that I was smart enough to keep my mouth closed? So it was my turn to get up there, right? I did my sets, and now I was like on the last 2 out of the 12. On the last 2, I'm gonna really make them work. I'm gonna really make them work. So I'm doing my pull-ups because they had the bar that hangs on the door. I'm doing my pull-ups or whatever. And the boys, they're doing their reps, getting tired because, you know, they want to play the game. They had the PSP, the PS1, the PS2, the PS3, the PS4, the Wii. I had the Wii U, and I did not do workouts for that, okay? I was going to play that game. My sister had the Switch, which is way later in life. They're working out or whatever, and I'm like exhausted. I'm like, I really want to watch TV. So I get up there on my last 2 and I can't do anymore. I can't do it. I can't do anymore. And when I knew, realistically, this is how I broke it up in my head. If I didn't do 6 hours or whatever it was, I was watching TV before I went to bed and when I woke up in the morning, right? So I was like, in the middle of the day, I had to figure out something to do. This is during the time, and this lasted from middle school to early high school, because then in high school, we kind of switched it up to going to the track all the time. And then I did track just because I was doing it in New York. We're not going to talk about track. Anyways, back to the story. So I was like, okay, I have a little bit of the middle of the day. I can watch an hour or so in the middle of the day. But what made me angry is like the ads. So I was like, I have to figure something out. So we would go play at the basketball court outside. We would do horse. We would ask my family, you're not touching me. I made the most impossible shots at horse. Imagine where, it was even farther than that. So imagine past that wall back there, way past that wall, there's a bench. And you stand on that bench backwards. And you take the ball and you throw it over your head and it swishes. Nobody was touching me. They weren't touching me. And they thought it was funny because they were like, oh, like, she's not going to get it. They recorded me the first 2 times and wasn't going to record me the third time. Third time I got it. I know how to do a shot. I just got to recalculate. It's just math. Either I gotta convince them to want to go to the basketball court. I didn't want to go to the track like ever in life. You could definitely get somebody to support me knowing that I did not want to go to the track. Or we went to like the playground that had like the little tire wheel that spun, but then that's when I found out I had motion sickness, so I stopped wanting to do that specifically. But I had to find something in the gist. I would even, and this isn't like a bad alternative, I would even go in a room and watch my grandparents like play cards against each other. I didn't know what was going on, but they looked like they were competitive. They were quiet. My grandma had her glasses on. My grandpa had his glasses on. And they don't be wearing their glasses like around the house. So when they had them on, you knew they were focused. And they had the little notepad out to take score or whatever. I was like, dang, I don't know what's happening, but somebody about to be sad. Anyways, goes all the way back. I worked my way around doing them pull-ups because I didn't want to do as many as I was doing before, because I was really like trying my best at first, and now I'm just like, I'm not doing this. Like, I just don't think, I think that pull-ups, what started to happen was in middle school we would be allowed to wear jerseys every Friday, right? And there was one Friday I wore my number 34 jersey, and it was a basketball jersey. It didn't have sleeves. So it was just my arms out. And oh my goodness, the whole day, Brenda, your arms are so strong looking. What do you be doing? Etc. So I was like, okay. That was when I started getting self-conscious about my shoulders. I was like, dang, time to start wearing football jerseys. And I only had like one Eagles jersey, and I had a couple random ones, but I didn't support them teams. Okay, maybe my back's getting a little too strong looking, so I had to tone it down on those exercises. But I used to love me some push-ups and some curl-ups. And it got to the point where we were exercising so consistently over there that when I got back home after school, I would just be exercising to pass the time. And it was so weird. And then I stopped doing that, because then the same thing, I don't know, it's just like my shoulders specifically be getting real strong looking, down to like this portion. Y'all people that work out know what that's called. I'm not trying. So I started doing like push-ups like every single day, and then in high school it was like time to take photos or whatever, and I literally, here I go again with these sleeveless shirts. It was like a sleeveless turtleneck, and I looked good or whatever, but it was just like my shoulders were shouldering, like I was looking strong. So one of the kids that I went to class with, he happened to be Will's friend, so I found this comment really weird, like men are weird. He was like, dang, Brenda, your arms are bigger than your brother's. And I was like, in that moment, because I wasn't blessed with patience like I am now, it took everything in me not to turn around and smack this man in his mouth. And I didn't. Instead, I said, so you mean bigger than you? And then I just kept walking, and everybody was laughing, and I didn't say it for it to be a joke, but he was a joke. Like, I don't know why people think it's so funny to talk bad about my siblings or to make fun of my siblings. To me, I will eat you up. I don't care who you are. If you got issues with my brother, take that up with my brother. Don't come telling me about it and then in front of a group of people. Like, you're asking for me to really get on you. Like, even if I'm upset with my sibling, there will never be a point in time where it's okay to talk trash about my sibling with me. No, we don't do that. He did not like me from that point going forward. He didn't like me before, so I don't know why he was even speaking to me, but I guess some people just have the audacity, and so did I. And it's because, like, Will, he's like a funny dude. Like, he doesn't take, I can't say he doesn't, but it doesn't seem like he doesn't take anything to heart. But me personally, I'm gonna have to shut that down. Okay, it's not flying here, because I don't want to say it about me. I don't care if you're joking, that's not a joke. You trying to hurt my feelings is not a joke. So even if my feelings don't get hurt, yours is about to be, because you tried it. The only reason I thought of that is because on Monday I'm starting like working out again, because what happened was during the pandemic, because I was still working out consistently. I played sports or whatever, so it was like my body's always been in shape. And when I got to college, I wasn't playing on any sports team. I wasn't like around family that was gonna force me to exercise or whatever. And even I prayed so bad that my roommate didn't come, but she came. No disrespect to her. I just wanted the room to myself. Um, because I wanted to work. I had a whole routine planned out in my head, and I should have not bet on the fact she wasn't coming just because she was an upperclassman. It doesn't make any sense. But so I didn't feel comfortable working out in the room, making noises, and it's just the two of us in the silent space. And that was actually a very good decision because even if she were to watch this, she knows the atmosphere was real weird. So I went to the gym that was in our building, and like the guys were acting like they owned all the equipment, and like that really turned me off from going to the gym there. Plus the guys are weird too, like me off from going to the gym. Then the pandemic hit, and I was doing at-home workouts really consistently. And then I even bought one of those weighted hula hoops. I don't think that really did anything but make me hula hoop. Like, it wasn't the one that's strict to your hip and there's a ball going around. It was like a hula hoop with like rivets in it. I think that was messing me up more than it was helping me. So it's in my closet, and maybe like occasionally I'll go grab it and do this. But it didn't have no other, it doesn't have any use. And now recently I want to start working out again starting Monday. And I won't be going to the gym though. It'll be at home. I can't with gym culture. It's gonna be a no for me. I just got off the phone with my Korean partner. I have like 6 of them because I need all the help I can get. Okay, I'm trying to go abroad too, and my listening and speaking skills ain't where they supposed to be. Now, if the class was silent and they wrote everything down and said write everything back down, I'd eat that class up. But because that's not how life works, I have to learn, don't look at my pimple patches. I have a whole bunch on my face right now. And it's not like my face is breaking out, but it's like a just in case. And I see something small right on my face. Because as you can see, I can't use no more acne scars. I don't need it. But I always forget to record, like, my talking sessions because I want y'all to hear me, because sometimes let me sound a little good. Hold on. It is taking everything in me not to down this entire bottle of ice. In 10 days of no ice, I'm doing pretty good because we didn't have any ice in the house and then we brought ice. And I've been just trying to drink more water. So I filled this jar all the way up to the top with ice and then put water in it, and now it's down there. But yeah.
Get it back, y'all. Get it back. Get it back. Let's go. Let's go.
Morning.
Shoot. Like what? Shoot. Yeah. Get it back. Shoot. Shoot. Yeah. Come on. You gonna have to shoot. Yeah.
You holding, shorty. They gonna run that clock. Today, I'm going to show you the outfits that I'm packing while I pack them, and then I'm also gonna dissect the new Avatar movie because I have some things to say. Not a whole lot, but some. 4 days I'm gonna be gone, right? I'm gonna be at my aunt's house for 4 days. And meanwhile, I'm gonna be vegan. So in a second, you finna see me meal prep. When you're packing and you're finna be gone for a couple of, like, if girl, if it's like 2 weeks, you wanna pack at least 2 pairs of jeans, right? Not because jeans last longer without being washed, right? Me personally, I bring a little can of Lysol. It's not a little can. It's actually one of those big old cans. And I spray from a distance, shake it out a little bit, and let the disinfectant do its thing. But jeans are definitely a requirement for people that are taking a trip. If you don't bring jeans on your trip, then you're paying a lot of money, especially if you're catching a flight. You're paying a lot of money for all them extra clothes up in your bag. You better learn how to make some jeans work. This is one little fit. This is actually a bow that I took off of the fit that I was like deconstructing in the other video. I don't know if I recorded that. Maybe I did. Some pearls, a fake collar because I don't have a white button down. So, and then some jeans. I'm only going to be gone for 4 days, so this is the only pair of pants I'm bringing. Thursday, I'm not going out. Friday, maybe. Saturday, maybe. Sunday, I'm not going out, right? I'm only bringing 2 outdoor outfits. So it was that one that you just seen, and then this one, which is like a, I don't know what you call this neckline. Holster. A holster top. And then there's this striped sweater that goes underneath. And then I have a lighter set of pearls. These don't have as much like saturation and color as the other set of pearls. My little pajamas. So it's not really much to show. Overall, I felt like the whole thing was moving way too quickly, and it was because it was moving so quickly. I felt like there were points in time in the series that it felt like, even though I knew how the animated series worked, that I was missing details, if that makes sense. So I was like, okay, like they're moving really quickly. They were moving actually extremely too quick for me because I'm getting off track with all these little details. I feel like it should have been maybe 16 episodes, and if they had to shorten it, oh well, but like maximize on some of the quality things that we would see. And like, even if it was like a filler, like the fillers were still pretty much entertaining. I didn't really have an issue with the fact that he was using his air bending to float into the air, even though that was really the purpose of the staff. A lot of people, I've seen some discourse, but it's really not that deep. And I did have a problem with him just subtly flying away, when really it was I'm not doing this, run away, fly away. They made it seem like, oh, I'm just gonna, he was like, oh, let's turn back. I don't think that was ever a discussion in the animated series. I always thought it was weird that Sokka, with the moon girl, that was never your girlfriend. Y'all never discussed this. Yeah, she kissed you, that's cute. Maybe she thought you was cute. Whatever. When she was like, oh, the man of my dreams, ma'am, please stop. Please. Like, there are some things that made me like cringe, even in the animated series. Like, y'all haven't even known each other for 24 hours and like you're boo-hooing. Oh my, like, you can cry over someone's death, but crying over your girlfriend's death, y'all were not together. She was betrothed to somebody else. Even if she cut that off, whatever the case may be, she known that man longer than you have. You've known her, etc. Sokka in the series, like, it's more understandable, like, him catching feelings so quickly, but within spans of time. Like, before him and Shorty from the Earth Kingdom, because I can't remember her name right now, were like a thing, or maybe they were a thing before. I'm telling y'all, I can't remember, but I know it wasn't this daggone, like, quick. Like, he was just at the Earth Kingdom, and they traveled to the north, and now you smooching another girl. Like, you was just kissing other shorty last episode. Like, spread the STDs a little slower. The acting was iffy because they're children. Like, Katara and some of the other ones, like, you could tell when the better acting came in because of age. But I feel like they shouldn't have eliminated Sokka's, like, misogyny. That was what brought his character to life. And he did better as the series progressed. Now I don't know what type of character development we're gonna have, because the only thing on his mind is him leading a tribe. That's when my father, he left me in charge. My father, he left me in charge. Say something else, baby boy. I don't want to hear that every 10 seconds, okay? My father. She's not giving me enough emotion. Like, she was supposed to break the igloo because she was angry, not because she was trying to retrieve a canoe. She's not giving enough, like, her being impatient with her bending skills, etc. Like, I feel like she's been pretty patient. She's not, like, tripping out on her brother or Aang as much. She should have really tripped out on Aang when he was like, maybe you shouldn't fight. I would have been like, hey, yo, little homie, you should try to go back in ice, because I know how to do that. Okay, because who are you talking to? Like, that is an energy she should have been given, and it wasn't given that. Beyond the fighting, when Aang got out that igloo, and after he got out of fire custody, whatever you want to call it, in the series, he was ready to go hands, right? He was like, oh, teach me water bending. Like, you know, a little bit. You can show me something. You can show me something. And he was learning it quicker than Katara. That's why she was upset, right? Where was that plot at? That made the whole thing spicy, because they had to get over whatever feud they had going on because Aang was catching on quicker. And then that's when they got their little boo thing going on. Aang hasn't learned anything but air the whole time. Y'all went to the north. Where was his water bending? I didn't see him try to do nothing. He turned, like, and was he always doing the avatar state this often? Because I don't recall that. Every 2 seconds, he's sitting in front of a statue doing this nonsense. If you don't learn how to fight, for them to hype up the Cabbage Dude being the original voice actor in the series as much as they did, he was in it for like 2 scenes. And then even one of the scenes, he wasn't in it, you could just hear him. Why y'all do him like that? Where was his screen time? I'm not gonna critique the CGI and stuff. I actually thought the CGI when him and Zuko were doing their thing, and what is it called? The fire prison. You know what I'm talking about if you watched it. When they were fighting there in that CGI, I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe, I don't know, CGI, somebody gonna complain about it, but I thought that was pretty cool. Like, some of it was a little iffy, like when, like, the body movements for Aang, it can be awkward looking at times, but the fighting in general was vibing with Aang. Of all the characters, I'm not vibing with Aang. I like Iroh. I feel like, how do I feel about him? It's not enough singing for me, because that man was always singing. Whether it was about tea, whether it was about mahjong, whether it was about traveling, whatever. It's not enough singing for me. It's just not. And then for Zuko, I don't really have much to say for Zuko. I think I'm a little biased because I watched him in Pen 13 and I liked his character in Pen 13, even though he was a dick to his sister. Funny story. I had four friends mainly that I would talk to. MTK, and then, oh, well, that's me. So three friends mainly, right? I was watching Pen 13 by myself. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. So I made them watch it, right? And we're laughing. Some of it we cringe at because it's about kids, but they're grown adults playing these kids alongside kids. So it just made it funny. I love that they did what they did. The ending was like kind of sad because it's real. But anyways, we were watching Pen 13 and we were talking about the brother, and me and one of the girls, I'm not gonna say the letter because that's not cool. We both like K-pop, but I feel like the distinction, like we tried to tell her before, her distinction between liking K-pop and liking Asian men wasn't like a healthy relationship. If you get what I'm saying without me going too much into detail. So. And I'm pretty sure he's not Korean. I don't know. I don't really care either. But one day she was following him on Instagram or whatever, and was like, "Oh, he's on live. He's on live." I'm like, how do you know he's on live? You follow him, or whatever. And that's not a problem. You know, people follow their favorite actors all the time. So around this time he had a really humble following. And he's on live with his friend who was a woman or whatever, and she's kind of like moderating the chat, moderating the chat, and they're both there though, like physically, and like I joined the chat they're not really talking about nothing. They're just like laughing in between each word being said. So I'm just like, they're kicking it. And then friend says something really weird. Well, she didn't say something really weird, but she overly flirted with him in the comments. And the girlfriend was like, not his girlfriend, but the girl that is his friend was like, oh, that comment's directed towards you. As soon as she said that, the intonation gave, he's gonna be uncomfortable. Why he end the live? He ended the live. This girl made him uncomfortable. He ended the live. We were telling her at the same time, like, girl, you just made him in his live. Like, you were doing too much. You know, still trying to hold your friend accountable, but, you know, who knows if that worked. I don't make food, but... Okay, I just finished meal prepping. I'm tired. Obviously, I don't meal prep when usual. When I'm hungry, I don't even make food. When I do... But, like, I eat, y'all. I just don't be feeling like cooking. Like, so that means, like, I'll be eating air fryer stuff, or, like sticking Brussels sprouts in the air fryer or something like that. Instead of, like, actually pulling out a pan or something. You know, stuff that takes time. I'm still eating good. Just, I'm not making it for real. I was supposed to show what I was making, but I was too busy trying not to burn nothing. And I didn't. And I took a little nibble of each, and they all taste good. Mango. Oh, if you shop at Trader Joe's, right, and they have ghost pepper chips. Now, I've eaten ghost pepper chips before, and I like the heat, okay? Now, you're gonna be on the toilet later, but I like the heat, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, Trader Joe has some. And they were like waffle cut chips or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm eating it. Where's the punch? Where's it's hot in here? It was none of that. It was very sweet. I felt played. And then the bag was half full. And the chips was real tiny. Like, they definitely exaggerated the size on the bag. They should have had a little image on the side, like true to size right here, so you could put the chip up to the bag. Cause they lied. She understands. I don't know what that was. Oh yeah. Is it gonna stop? I definitely pressed the stop button.